Creating multiple choice and true-false questions with or without a stimulus. So, in the last video, we set up our test and quiz activity. In this video, we will demonstrate how to add questions to our activity. But before you get started adding questions, you should first click on the Settings tab and customize your activity. So what does that mean to customize? Well, again, you are able for the instructions to change the font, to add different types of media. If you like to check the accessibility, as you can see, you can add a file, a link, or even an audio recording or a resource from one of your other courses or from your resources. You can enable or disable submissions. You can give students a time limit if it's a test, but if it's review, you may want not to do that. You can put the attempt limit for unlimited if it's a review activity. If it's a test, maybe you give them a couple of tries. You can set the paging. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more in the next video. So using page breaks helps to kind of set a consistent flow. If you want it to look like a worksheet or something like that, a digital worksheet. You can allow them to look over their answers before they submit the test or quiz. You can also make the activity resumable in case they lose connection or they stop and need to start again. So wherever they stop, they can pick up with. And you can also have them view their submissions after they submit with either correct answers or just view their scores. And when you have customized, you can hit save changes. And now we're going to add questions. This is the fun part. So for true and false questions, it's pretty upfront. You're going to put type your question, and you're going to customize your question the way you would like it to look for your students. And you can check the accessibility. It's great to check that all the time when you're putting content in. You also can add a recording. We'll talk more about recording in Module 3. And then you're going to go down and just look at the other ways you can customize this question. You have the ability to make it a subjective question if you want it to be that. You also want to make sure that you select the correct answer. That's how it auto grades, and it makes it a responsive type of activity. You can also give them feedback if they have the right answer or if they have the wrong answer. It's up to you. It really depends on the type of activity that you're trying to create for your students. You can make it timed. There's where you can make it give feedback for incorrect or correct responses. And then you can also, at the bottom, you'll see that you can put the point total in. Sometimes it's good to put the point total in after you create your questions, or you may know already how much you want each question value to be. There you have it. You create your true and false question. Now, let's try a stimulus. So when you want to create a stimulus, you're going to click on text. That way, you can either copy and paste the text in here. You can insert any type of content. And you see here, I just dropped some text that I already had copied. And I want to also add a picture. So I'm going to put a picture that relates to the text in there. And then I'm going to click on create text once I finish customizing again. Okay. So that is how you add a stimulus if you needed to have a stimulus for your questions. That means whatever questions your students are answering, they have an image, a picture, a link, or some type of text. Now let's create a multiple choice question. So same setup as you would with a true or false question. You're going to type your question, and then you're going to customize the font or size or, if you want it center aligned or not. And you can check for accessibility, like it's always a great thing to do that. And then you're going to go ahead and type in your responses. And this is another cool thing. You can customize and create the font and change the font in the answer choices as well. And you also see that field where you can insert content, so you can make this as responsive and engaging as you would like it to be. That is one of the good things about creating these types of activities in here, because your students are able to go through the activity, get feedback, and you can also create your own personal feedback with the customizations that are in the questions. So you're going to add and edit all of your responses. And once you have added all of your responses, look, you can also remove blanks if you only have 3 questions. You're going to select the correct answer. See all the feedback that you can give if you wanted to, depending on the answer choice. And this will allow you to really capture so much data from your students. You can allow partial credit. And then you also, again, you can put the value of how much that question is going to be worth. And then you create your question. So there you have 3 questions with a stimulus. Now, what does it look like? This is what it looks like from the student view. Again, when you don't have page breaks, you will see it fall, everything, all the questions, the stimulus will be on one page. And that's good if you do have a stimulus that is attached to multiple questions. And if you enabled the students to be able to see their score, you can also, on your end, of course, see the grade info and the scores, how many times they've attempted. If you've given them multiple attempts, what was their latest attempt score? And this is a great review tool. It's a great check for understanding tool. And it's great to be able to give feedback to your students in a responsive way.